All right. On a lighter note, I should have somebody on the line. Oh, I do. Oh, good. Well, I love this guy. I'm always happy to welcome him back, and I miss seeing his mug in person. He is the bass lord for the band Pop Evil. Welcome back to that Jamieson show, Mr. Matt.
What's up, dude?
Cheers.
Hey, man.
Woo! What's going on, brother?
How come you didn't bring that shithead hat out on tour with us? You came out on with PE.
Well, you know, I played a little bit of the Breathe Again video before, and I'm so happy that the Rubik's Cube theme that started on the tour I was on with you has not abated whatsoever. That has followed you straight through, and it's actually it might even be part of the stage design at this point. I don't know, but the Rubik's Cube thing has gone on for. There's you tweeting about Rubik's Cubes. You're solving them. How that started? Because that's what I would say. Like the shithead was on the Faster Pussycat tour. You guys are a little more cerebral. So we had the Rubik's Cube thing going on your tour.
Yeah, 100%. That's funny, dude. I've got like a whole stack of them now. I've got like an entire shelf at home of like these weird ones with like 10 sides or like rows and dumb stuff, man. But anyway, dude, how are things going? It's been forever since I've seen you.
You know, it's funny. I think you mentioned it to me when I got in touch with you to do this. It's been a year, I guess, right? At least since we did this, which is amazing. The last time you were on?
Yeah. And last time I was on, met Rick Adana.
Oh, yeah.
Like, since together, like, some awesome, comedy, charity things that, we've done together, like both at events and, throughout COVID stuff, like doing the whole show and, all kinds of good stuff, man. So you're connecting people on here.
Absolutely, yeah. And let's talk about that a little later. We'll get a little bit more into it because you do such a great job with the charity stuff. But so do you have I think when we were on the bus, so this is winter of 2019, you were I think you were solving the cube in a minute or less. So do you have what can you do it in now? You must be able to do it in like 10 seconds now.
I'm not down. I'm not that good at it yet. I still just mess around with it for fun, like in airports, keeps me busy and stuff like that. And places where I don't have Wi-Fi.
So where are you right now?
In Dallas, Texas right now. Actually out here with Corey Taylor. He called me up and asked me if I was doing anything and if I wanted to go on the road with him and for his solo project and the CMFT album that he just put out. And I'm out here on the road just giving him a hand and hanging out. He's got like all of his best friends out here in his band and just good people out here on the road. Yeah.
Obviously, along with yourself, Corey, one of the best guys out there. How did you guys get to know each other? Just through the rock and roll thing?
Yeah. We toured with Stone Sour probably back in, like, I think it was maybe 2014 or so. It was right around the time that Christian Martucci joined the band. It was his first tour with Stone Sour. We kind of got to know each other back then. And then, I've been really good friends with his now wife, Alicia, for years and years and years. And, she's out here with the Cherry Bombs.
Okay.
And in the early days of the Cherry Bombs, she kind of came to me and helped her out with like routing and touring stuff and, putting budgets together and trying to grab connections and stuff. So I've just been really, really great friends with her for a long time. And I don't know, now we're all just like, just like to hang out together and have a good time. It's like if you can cherry pick people to, bring on the road, I guess, it's kind of what he does, and I'm happy to be out here. Yeah,
it's isn't that at least 50% of the equation is just making sure you get along with everybody? It was just, I'm sure it was like, oh, there's a comedian coming on the bus with us. Oh, that'll be great. It'll keep us entertained all the time. And then after 2 days, everyone's like, what happened to the comedian? Don never says a word. He's so quiet.
Even better, I got a chest buddy out of it.
That's right. Right. Oh God, the beating you would lay on me now because I'm so out of practice. So we have to get back on the road together. Even if I come out as I could come out as your cheese tech. I did that. I came out and brought you your bass and some cheese on stage in L.A. So
That's true.
Maybe I could even if I can't perform on the road with you guys, I could come out. I'll be the bass tech.
That's awesome, dude. You've always got a home with us. You know that.
Yeah, well, and that's the greatest thing, like I said, and everybody got along so great on that bus. And hopefully, and it's looking like, because you got a new record and the doors are opening up around the world for you guys, finally, that we might see some Pop Evil tour dates. Do we have, I know there's a tour poster. Before I even put it up and tease people, are those dates happening? Are they postponed? Are there dates on the horizon? Good news only, please. And he's frozen.
Yeah, we
there
just, I think it was maybe a half hour before I jumped on. Probably about a half hour before I jumped on with you, we posted our upcoming tour date. Yeah, go check them out.
Put that tour poster up there, Bobby, if you could. So it's the Versatile Tour. Versatile, depends on how fancy you want to pronounce it. But it's supporting the new album. So will it still be this lineup with Joyous Wolf and Broken Love?
Yeah, it's going to bounce back and forth. We've got a bunch of, if you look at our latest Instagram posts, anyone who's watching, it's got sort of a legend of who's playing with us on what dates. There's some dates we don't have any support at all. There's some dates it's, dates this band, some dates it's CSpan. So it's not like one continuous tour, but all that information should be out there. And the important part is, there are dates on the books, definitely confirmed, and things are moving in a good direction. Yeah, great. And Corey was one of the first rockers out there to announce a tour, which was great. He broke the seal there, which was good. Oh, just lost Lemmy. So for people, just so people know as well, whichever one of those bands you see, or if you get lucky enough to see both of them with Pop Evil, they're both great bands. So that's a killer bill. I'm gonna look up the dates that don't have support acts and send them to my agent right away, see if I can get on them. So it's gonna be a great tour no matter what, and you're gonna hear new music from Pop Evil. They have a set list that already has 5 #1 hits. So now you introduce the new stuff. The album is out now. It's called Versatile, and I would say it's aptly named. And he's frozen. Yeah, it's frozen or just speechless.
You're for a minute both, but now we're live. All right, go ahead.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's interesting too, like doing that album. Previously we'd worked with Kato Kwandala, and he had like this whole plan for us to do, the next handful of albums and stuff. And, he passed away just after we did our self-titled album. So going into the studio to make this album, we didn't really have a producer in mind, and it was kind of hard to find someone to fill his shoes. So there are actually like 7 different producers on that album. Wow. On the new album. So that's kind of where the name comes into play too, is, it's just like a whole bunch of different things and from different guys and different ideas, and it was just really a lot of experimenting on this new album. So that's kind of where it came from.
So Matt, do you get involved with, because obviously if you listen to the record, you would never think there's 7 producers. It sounds like a cohesive album, just, done with the traditional, one producer and somebody mixed and mastered it. So, I mean, do you get involved at all with like making sure, like, are you hands-on at all with going, if we're going to do it this way, that's fine. Well, I'll give it a try, but we got to make sure this sounds like a full album, that a cohesive unit.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things to do for sure is to make sure that your album still has an identity, and that it all sounds cohesive and works together. That's why we did a lot more songs than what you actually hear on the album. It was like, well, let's do 5 with this producer and 7 with this producer, and you just kind of take what works and what's best, and whoever brought the best out of you and whatever songs it came out on, and you try to make it work together. It's like a puzzle. It's like a Rubik's Cube.
Ah, there we go. See, it is a theme. That's amazing. But what's even more, the real Rubik's Cube is getting all the band members to agree to work that way together.
Yeah, but we've been working together for a long time, and we're pretty good at having those conversations.
Yeah, you guys are pretty straightforward. I'm just looking for the album in my my Apple Music because I want to. I just want to make a point about some of the songs. Well, let's first of all, right out of the gate, the album opener, "Let the Chaos Reign." Let the chaos reign. What a rager right out of the gate. Really sets the tone for the whole album, man.
Thanks, dude.
I love that. Yeah, I can hear you guys opening with that one right now.
Some of the heavy stuff on this album is some of my favorite heavy stuff that we've ever done. Like the song "Breathe Again" that's out now is it's one of those ones that you can't wait to play live.
Yeah. Well, it's got definitely has that classic Nick and or Davey pop evil riff, heavy riff, and obviously catchy chorus and all that. So yeah, that's a great one. Super heavy. Another thing I noticed on the album is to me, to my untrained ear, but it sounds like Lee experimented a lot too vocally.
Yeah, there's some weird little auto-tune tricks and stuff in there, and some of those poppier elements, and it's I think something that he's been wanting to experiment with for a while.
Yeah,
and it's really interesting to hear, especially coming back at you, and I think it works definitely, and it's kind of got like that fresher element to it. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of things like vocally that are different on this album than we've ever done before, or that he's ever attempted to do before.
Well, which is the point of being, of having a band is to keep, creatively keep things interesting, not only for yourself but for your fans. How about you for your approach as the bassist in it? And you're also a great guitar player too. Did they ever let you riff a little on the album?
Oh, thanks, man. The last time I played guitar on an actual album was our album Up. And, I'll play a little bit in the studio just to get an idea across and things like that. But as far as like actually being good enough to record parts, that's not necessarily the case most of the time. But I do enjoy it, and it's a lot easier to write songs a lot of times on guitar and kind of get your idea across and like bring everyone up to speed on what you're trying to do. So yeah, I like to riff a little bit, but we also use a lot of synth bass, give it a little bit of extra punch in the mix and things like that, which were cool because we haven't done a lot of that in the past. It's just been bass guitar. So you'll hear like bass and like some bass synth come in there and stuff too, and sometimes just those tones. It's like the previous album we had like 3 different drum sets that we used over the course of the album. It's like having those different tones for different songs really helps kind of give the record more dynamics.
Mm-hmm. Is this I can't remember. Is this Haley's first record with you guys on drums?
No, in fact, the last record was.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember. Because there is, obviously, Haley's definitely brought so much energy to the band. And I just, on this album, man, there's just, and maybe it's these things that you're talking about. It's the experimentation, it's the working with the different producers, it's, you know, the bass synth, it's Lee experimenting that really gives this album, I think, an extra, you know, dose of energy, even a step up from the last one.
Yeah, for sure, man. And you know, dude, the weird thing about this is, this album was finished in like last March. Last March, we did the photo shoot for it. We went in, finished up like cutting the final tracks and everything for it. And I remember, like, we all actually bumped our flights a little bit earlier. I think we flew out on like March 13th or something like that. And you know, most of the pandemic stuff hit like around like the 15th of March.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
And so, you know, we were concerned that you know, airports were going to shut down or something and we wouldn't have flights out. And it's, I don't know, it's just kind of funny, like thinking back through some of this stuff now, talking about it with you, because I haven't really revisited a lot of this stuff in over a year. Yeah. You know, like we just had this album done, like ready to go. We're getting ready to get back out and start, you know, drop this album and tour on it. And, you know, a year later, it's finally out and we're gearing up to go out on it. So it's like trying to remember what happened and stuff. It's like a trip down memory lane. Even this album's brand new, you know,
well, yeah,
brand new to the world.
Yeah, because it's not brand new to you guys, but I guess there's got to be a level of frustration where, you know, you get done with what you hope is a great album to your fans. I mean, I'm sure you guys felt like it was a great album for you, but then you always have to unleash it to the masses, and you know, you always want great feedback on something. But then when you don't get that immediate kind of thing, when you have to sit on it for a year, it's sort of like, you know, you're gonna have to now sort of go back and probably relearn most of the songs again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like our rehearsals before going out on tour are gonna have to be pretty intense.
Yeah,
you know, just even freshening up on the old stuff, which we typically like. We've always got shows going on, so you never really have to rehearse the old stuff. It's just always there, you know, at your fingertips. And now I'm gonna have to be 165, 142. What's that song? How's it go?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Your song? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be us in rehearsals going. Waited all my life to get out of the traps, out of the trolley, out of the train,
the train, 55 and 100. But there's to me again, you know, and I'm still fresh with the record for a couple of days, but there's a lot of songs on here that will work well live. So I'm sure that you'll be incorporating those in. And I keep looking at the song titles because, and maybe this is just the state of mind that we're in, because any song could be interpreted a different way by anybody. But just looking at the song titles, I mean, they're so about what's going on in the world for the past year. Let the chaos reign. At what other time in history have we had this much chaos? You know, set me free. Let me out of the freaking house already. You know, breathe again. Take the mask off. Work. I want to go back to work. Inferno. Riots. Burning. You know, human nature. Survivor. So it's all this. Now I'm not going to ask you. I don't want you to go track by track, but suffice it to say, I'm guessing a lot of these lyrics were influenced by the times.
Well, that's the thing is, like, they weren't. At all.
Oh, okay, you're right, because it was done before this even happened.
Yeah, exactly. It was done before the pandemic, before the election, before the riots, before any of that stuff. And that's what's really interesting about music too, is like we've done this before in the past, where you release a single or something that's been written and recorded for, you know, or written for 2 years and recorded for 6 months or whatever, and you finally put something out, and it just so happens to line up with like whatever's going on in the news to where people, move it one way or another. I mean, we ran into the same thing with our last album too. There were certain songs that almost took on new meaning completely because of what was going on in the world, despite what they were written about to begin with. And that's kind of the case with this is, it's weird how a lot of it lines up with the things that we've seen in current events and, over this past year, but that wasn't the intention at all,
But,
it's just,
right. But with any great music, it's sort of nicer to not know the meaning of the songs. I know the interviewers sometimes like to do the track by track thing, and I'm like, I don't want to be explained what the songs mean, like, because I could go, let's say I'm in a chaotic relationship right now. Well, I could make all these apply to that as well. Set me free, let the chaos reign. I can breathe again. I'm out of this, tumultuous relationship. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's pretty much whatever you want to put into it. But that's kind of the beauty of art. It's like whatever you see in it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of my favorite things about music. I always say, like, we make an album for us, and then as soon as we release that album and it goes up everybody else's art, it's theirs. It's now they own it, and the way that they interpret it is what it means. That's how it changes and evolves, is like it lives inside of everyone who listens to it and interprets it their own way, and that is what's cool about it. If there's some sort of deeper meaning to a song that someone takes on, and then you say, yeah, I wrote that about, tripping on the sidewalk and busting my knee. And they'd be like, oh, well, you just ruined that entire song for me. Thanks a lot. I thought it was about my grandma dying, and now it just turns out, you fell down on your face like a jackass.
Yes, I did. Thank you for reminding me. But and speaking of artwork, because I want to make sure that we put the album cover up, and I wanted to double check with you. So the album artwork does not have the band name or the title of the album. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's right.
All right. So first explain this art. This I need an explanation on. I don't know how to interpret this.
Dude, I don't know if there is an explanation for that.
I mean,
to be completely honest.
Yeah, I guess it's versatile. There's a lot going on there. Now, is this a new thing now that's going on, Matt? With because I had this kid. Actually, he's out from Michigan. Do you know Sammy Bowler?
Yep, sure do.
So Sammy put out an album not too long ago, about a year ago now. But he did the same thing. He found a piece of artwork that he liked, and he decided not to clutter with the name and stuff. So is that something that's becoming common, or did you guys it was sort of the same principle? Like, we just like it the way it is.
I'm going to be honest, dude. I'm so far removed from that. Like, I didn't get that.
You didn't even know that was the cover of your album.
Yeah, I didn't until I bought it. Communication isn't always the best, and especially over this past year. So like some stuff like that, there's certain things like decisions get made, and I wasn't on the email. So I'm like, oh, all right, that's cool. Well, I don't get it, but I can't explain it either. So,
all right. Well, once again, art open to interpretation, and again, the album's called Versatile. And so, how about before we run? During the lockdown, you still making guns? You still doing star treatment? You out on the Harley? You've been doing all that stuff, the usual.
Yeah, man. Bought a house in Indiana, like just down the road from Sweetwater. Building guns, this past year. It's going better than ever. Still got a tattoo shop. barely survived the past year, you know, like having to be shut down and all that kind of stuff. But we're back up and going. Nonprofit did really, really well. Star Treatments did really well throughout the pandemic. We kind of had we weren't able to do as many rides, but not as many families were looking for rides. And everything kind of slowed down together, like the demand and the funding and all that kind of stuff. And then it's all sort of coming back up. In fact, we have a family on the road today. I was just checking my email and stuff. So yeah, we're moving a lot of families again, and it's been really good and really consistent.
That's awesome. I love that. We did well, I think we did the world's longest comedy show through Matt's charity. What was it, like 72 hours of comedians breaking balls and hanging out together and all that stuff, and all for his charity, which you know, if people have been in the giving mood over this pandemic, even when they've been out of work. You know, there's always somebody who needs more help than you, and people have been pretty generous through the time. So if you want to support people in need and support a great guy and a true rock star like Matt, go to startreatments.org. That's the website for that. And that was a real neat event that we did with you for that. But most importantly, you go out, you pick up Pop Evil, Versatile. You start tripping balls on acid. You figure out what the cover is. And then you listen to the music, and then you figure out what the songs are. And then let Matt know. Hit him up on Instagram, and you give him your interpretations of the album cover. And he's frozen.
That's actually a really good idea, man. To get people to do that, like, hey, what do you guys think our album cover means?
Yeah,
I would be interested to see some of those responses.
Absolutely, and then maybe we could do it for charity as well and tie it all together. But yeah, congrats, man, on the new music. Again, new to us, not so new to you, but new, and it's out there. And the album sounds fantastic, man. Give my best to everybody. Tell Corey hi for me, and next time we do it in person, my friend.
Will do, man. Thanks for having me on. I miss you, and I love you.
Love you too, brother. Take care. Be well. There we goes. Matt Dirito. That guy, coolest dude, man.